And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in God's own image. In the image of God, we were created. In the image of God, we were created. Male and female. God created them. Then God blessed them. God created them. Then God blessed them. God created them. Then he blessed them. Then he spoke to them. God blessed them, created first, then blessed, and then spoke. Be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, and subdue it, and rule over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air. I want to speak from a subject, I'm too blessed for this mess. We're in a day of camera phones and cell phones, so if you got a cell phone, take it out real quick. If you don't have one, act like you got one and put your hands up to your face. Come on, take your camera out. You need to be looking at yourself when you say these words. Look at yourself. You're about to speak to your own self. That's all right. We ain't going to take all day. Just act like the camera up there now. Speak these words to yourself. Self, today is the last day. I live beneath my God-given purpose. I'm going to walk out of these doors, and I'm going to live every last bit of the life God created for me to live. Now tell your old self goodbye. Too blessed for this message. I'm always intrigued with our American lifestyle. Always fascinated by the American lifestyle, especially in our postmodern day, in which we have so much knowledge, so much ability to be able to tap on our cell phones and ask it a question and it tell you what you think. I'm always intrigued by how you can surf the internet and basically ask it anything you want to ask it. One click of a finger can send you over to Africa and then transfer you to Europe and then send you to Australia. And you can basically go where you want to go in the world right now. It has so much, it is exposure now. We have so much of our exposure to the point to where I'm always amazed that when you ask somebody what it is and what is your purpose, the first two or the first word come out their mouth is And I'm always kind of intrigued that if you got to say before you state your purpose, you don't know it. You may have a clue about what it is that you were created, but anything you know, you don't have to state it. If I ask anybody here your name, you're not going to say, my name is Chris. You're going to state your name. Why? Because you know it. It's been repeated to you. It's been given to you. Everyone calls you by it, so you know it. And so anything that you know, you don't have to say And then, contrary to that, I'm intrigued by how when slaves was in slavery, you could ask them. They had access to very little. They didn't have much. But you could ask the general slave, what is your purpose? And by process of knowing what they were not, which was a slave, they could tell you what they were. I know I'm not a slave. I'm a child of God. I don't know where that takes me, but I know I'm not meant for this. And so therefore I'm pressing towards something that's greater than what I'm around right now. And the thing that amazes me, Morning View, is the fact that we have so much in our exposure. We can go eat in any buffet line we want. We can go to any gymnasium we want. We can go to any school we want if we apply ourselves. And you ask the average college student, why you in college? I don't know. What you gonna do with the degree when you get out? I don't know. Well, I just want to make some money. If you want to make some money, the last thing you need to do is go to college, because you're going to be at least $50,000 in debt when you get out. So you can find your purpose outside of college, outside of what we have here today. And the only conclusion that I could come to was, back then people were more connected to God because God created them, versus than what we are now. We're connected to our things. We're connected to what we have access to. And what we have access to was created by the same person that we were created by. Whoever created the internet were created by God. So that can't tell you what your purpose is. That can't give you access to what God wants you to do. And this is why the book of Genesis is so important. We live in an American time in which depression is all-time high. In which divorce is an all-time high, in which sickness and health is at an all-time low. We're not feeling how we should. We're not doing what we need to do to keep our bodies right. We're not doing what we need to do to keep our minds right. And so the only way that we can find what our original intent is and what our original purpose is to go back to the beginning. And God in Genesis, the book means the beginning, the inception. God created the heavens and the earth. If you like a good action movie, the book of Genesis, in terms of how it presents it to you, is a great book. But however, for me, I like a movie that can kind of tell me the purpose first. Don't just smack me with the action right off the bat. Give me why the movie is made. For instance, I love the latest Batmans because it kind of gave me an in-depth study or an in-depth explanation of why Bruce Wayne became Batman. And then it hits me with an action. The book of Genesis, the very opposite. It smacks you right in the face. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The first sentence, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was void and without form, and the Spirit was hovering over the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light. Boom. Action right there. Then it says God created the sun, the moon, the stars. He separated the heavens from the dry land, the wet land from the dry land. Action, boom. Then God created the birds. Action, boom. Then God created the fish. Action, boom. Then it slows down. Then God said, let us create man in our image, after our likeness. Male and female. God created them. Then God blessed them. This word blessed means to kneel, to be blessed, to be adored, to cause, to praise, to salute. In other words, God is saying, I'm going to create something so near and dear to me, so special to my heart, that I'm going to have to kneel to it and say, I salute you. I'm going to have to give it praise because you're so special to me. Not because you are my God, but because you are near and dear to me. I love you so much that I got to salute you and say you are blessed. It's your natural state. Being blessed is who you are. Being blessed, you can't take it back because you didn't ask for it. I don't care what kind of mistakes you make. You were blessed before you made it. You can do something to make yourself feel unblessed, but you can't take it back because God blessed you. And if God blessed you, then you need to find out why you are blessed. It's your natural state. You can't change it. This doesn't mean that you're not too stressed to be blessed. I wish we quit that old saying I'm too stressed to be blessed. Because if you're blessed by God, then it doesn't mean you're not stressed. You're just blessed through the stress. You're blessed through the mess. You're blessed through the test. You're blessed through it all. Because when you get God, that's when your trouble starts. When you begin to find out what your purpose is, that's when everything begins to happen for you. That's why it's important to know that God blessed you first. Young ladies, God blessed you first. He ain't got to pay a bill. God blessed you first. He ain't got to spend a night. God blessed you first. Young men, you need to think with the top half of your body instead of the lower half, because God blessed the whole body. Don't get quiet on me. God blessed the whole body. And if God blessed the whole body, then what's in you is blessed. And anything that's outside of you can be changed. But what's in you cannot be changed because God blessed it. And God has given you everything that it takes to be blessed. Sometimes this blessing can mean that it's time to go through. Now it's time to figure out why you're blessed. It's time to figure out, it's just a general blessing now. Everybody's blessed because you're near and dear to God. You're special to God. You mean something to God. But I just didn't bless you to stay there now. We got to go to the next level. Now you got to be fruitful. In other words, God is saying, I blessed you. That's my part. I gave you what it takes. Now this is your job. God said. That said means God intentionally spoke. This is what I did. I blessed you. Now here's what you got to do. Here's what I intended for you to be. Here's what I'm intending for you to do. You can't take the blessing back now. Now you got to do something. Now you got to be fruitful. This fruitful means to flourish. This is the process in which you find out why you're blessed. If it's to be a singer, you need to flourish in being a singer. If it's to be a musician, you need to flourish in being that. If it's to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever it is, you need to flourish in whatever it is that God has blessed you with. Steve Harvey calls this the vehicle. Now you have to find a vehicle in which God can use you in your purpose. You just can't sit around and not do nothing. You just can't sit around and say, I'm blessed and highly favored. And you ain't got nothing to bless nobody else. You got to flourish in it. You got to show something for it. You got to have something to be able to say I'm blessed and I'm flourishing. I'm not talking about money here. I'm talking about your energy. I'm talking about your spirit. I'm talking about who you are. Because when a person finds out what their purpose is, they can be the brokest Negro on the block. But they got an energy about it that says I'm going somewhere. You can be the ugliest Negro on the block. But I got somewhere to go. And if I got to get a makeover to make myself look good, there's something more about me than what you see in me, because God created me to be more. I'm blessed even if you don't believe it. I'm blessed if I got to catch the bus the rest of my life. God has blessed me to be something better, and I'm not going to stop until I find out what it is. This is the same thing that Jesus did. God blessed Jesus, blessed him. And then the Bible says the Spirit drove him into the wilderness. Here's what you got to do. If you're going to find out what your purpose is, you're going to have to be driven into an unknown place. That means you're going to have to cut Facebook off. That means you're going to have to cut Twitter off. That means you're going to have to turn the cell phone off. That means you're going to have to turn scandal off. That means you're going to have to turn How to Get Away with Murder off. That means you're going to have to turn the have and have-nots off. That means you're going to have to turn the Walking Dead off. Lord help me. That means you're going to have to turn it all off to find out why God has created you. You can't do it if you're giving your time and your energy to something else outside of what God made you to be. But it ain't enough just to be blessed. It's not enough just to be fruitful. It's not enough. You got to spend time before God. You have to spend time alone perfecting your gift. You have to sacrifice what it is. You have to master what it is by yourself first before God can get ready to use you.